Yeah, hi there, soccer coaches. So in the lesson 3 of the introduction, I'm going to give you a little bit of background and history on who I am and why I decided to do this. So my name is Mark Phillips and I have been coaching soccer for more than 10 years. I've already given you that information. I've been playing soccer for more than 40 years, still play now. And my coaching career has taken me to 3 different countries. Started in the UK, I then moved to Canada for 2 years, and then I moved to the United States, and I've now been in the United States for more than the last 5 years at the time of recording this video. And in that time I've been a volunteer coach. So I started off as a volunteer coach, probably like a lot of you did. You just got involved because either your kids' team needed a coach, or you knew a club, you were working for a club and they needed a coach, and you decided that you were going to put your hand up and step forward and take on that responsibility and make that decision. And you know, first of all, I want to say thank you very much for doing that, because without the volunteer coaches there would be no grassroots soccer. I remember when I was 5 or 6 years old playing soccer in the UK, in England, and my coaches were volunteer coaches back then. We're talking, what would that have been? That would have been the late 1970s. And they were all volunteer coaches. No one got paid back then. But they loved the game so much that they dedicated their time and their effort and their energies to trying to help kids to become better. And I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today, or have had the success and the enjoyment and the life lessons that I've got from the soccer career that I've had, if it wasn't for those coaches. So if you are a volunteer coach and you're watching this and you've invested your time, money and effort into this program, not only do I consider you to be a integral key part of coaching of soccer, but you're one of the very few and rare people that want to be successful in their coaching and are prepared to do something about it. Most people want success, but they don't want to put in the effort and the time and the energy and the hard graft, if you like, to become successful. They just want it. You know, we live in this society now where everyone thinks they're entitled and expects to get everything. And the reality is that that's not life. You know, if you want something and you want to be good at something and you want to improve at something, then you have to dedicate yourself to it. You have to commit to it. You can't just dabble at it. You can't just think, okay, well, you know, I'll give it a little bit of time. No, you've got to immerse yourself in it. You've got to be fully engaged, and you've got to be paying attention all of the time. You've got to be paying attention in your practice sessions. You've got to be paying attention in your games. You've got to be paying attention in the parking lot. You've got to be paying attention at the team meeting. You've got to be paying attention all of the time, because there's signs everywhere. And if you're paying attention to those signs, then that will help you become a better soccer coach. So as I've already alluded to, I started playing soccer more than 40 years ago. Played youth soccer, played for my schools, played club soccer, played semi-professional soccer. I joined Bristol Rovers as a youth player in the late 1980s and never made it to the first team or the reserve team. Got a bad knee injury which ended my playing career basically. I then played semi-professional with a club called Romsey Town, and then at 28 the serious knee injury meant that I could no longer compete at that level, and I've been playing basically recreational soccer, competitive recreational soccer, men's soccer ever since. So I have more than 40 years experience of actually playing the game at more or less the grassroots level, the level at which you're coaching, the level at which your players are playing and where you're trying to develop those players. And 10 years of coaching. So, you know, I've been there, done it and seen the t-shirt, if you like, for the last 10 years. And during that time I've had to really look at how coaching works. You know, I started coaching golf, and there's a huge amount of psychology involved with golf. You know, the mind is massively important in the game of golf, and I think it's equally important in the game of soccer. But for whatever reason, it's massively overlooked. You know, a lot of coaches will work on technical aspects. You know, we get very obsessed with drills, we get very obsessed with trying to make our practice sessions perfect, and we neglect the mental side of the game. And the mental side of the game is what's going to drive the team or the player to excel when they need to, when the chips are down, when the opponent is clearly superior. And it's the mental side that will get them to roll their sleeves up and work much harder, much more effectively, and drag themselves back into a game. So I've spent a lot of time working on the psychology of soccer, the psychology of sports, and making sure that I understand that, and I understand how to plant the seeds in the player that will grow and nurture them, not just through their soccer career but through their life. And the program that I've put together consists of quite a lot of these subliminal messages, quite a lot of these subliminal tasks or opportunities for you as coaches and for the players to really examine: what are you doing, why are you doing it, and is there a better way? Is there something else you could do that would get you the result either in a shorter amount of time, or would the result be better, or would the learning be more intensive, would it be more ingrained? And you know, so I've really tried to put this program together so that no matter what level of coaching you're at, if you're at an elite level, if you're at a grassroots level, if you're a vocational coach, there's something in it for you. There's something that you can take from this training and implement immediately into your practices, into your psychology, into your emails, into your communications, into your parent dialogue, so that you can move your program and your team and your players forward. And you know, if there's just one thing over the next 8 weeks that you take from this training and you implement into your training, and you can then move your program forward, then the program's been worth it. Now, there might be a lot of stuff in here that you already do or you already know, and that's okay. This is a reminder, this is a refresher, this might be a different point of view of some of the stuff that you already know. But you're looking for the one thing that you can implement right now, the one thing that you can do that is going to change something in your program and is going to help you to move to that next level, whatever that next level is. One of the things I want to caution you against is trying to implement everything. Don't try and implement everything. If there's lots of things in here that you don't know how to do, or you're not sure about, or you're thinking, wow, that would be amazing if we could implement that, make sure that you implement one thing, get that running, get the feedback on that, test that, and then move on to the next thing. Because if you try and implement 4 or 5 things all at once, you'll end up implementing none of them, and you'll regress back to where you already are. So, you know, when you, and we'll come on to talking about goals and things like that later, but when you're reviewing this program and you're thinking about what you're going to implement, what you're going to do, what you're going to put in there, pick one thing. Pick the one thing that makes your light bulb go on in your head the brightest. That you think, wow, that's the thing that's going to make the biggest difference the quickest. When you do that, you'll see that your program will move forward, your players will move forward, and then you can implement something else. Then you can ask the same question again. You know, what's the next thing that I can implement now that's going to move my program forward again? The reason I put this program together is because, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, that traditional soccer coach education doesn't deal with how to deal with success, how to create success, how to make sure that there is success in everything that you do, even if you're not winning soccer matches, even if you're not winning tournaments, even if you're not winning cups. You know, not every team can win the big tournaments. So, you know, you've got to be able to understand that there's success in every single thing you do. Every single thing that you can put together has the element of success in it. You just have to know where to look, and you just need to know how to relate that back to your players so that they know where to look. And I'll give you an example. If you start the season and you're playing against a team, an elite team in your age bracket, and they beat you, you might lose 4 or 5-1. And you come along at the end of the season and you maybe lose 2-1 or maybe lose 3-1. You could argue that over that period of time success has occurred because the gap has gotten closer. Maybe the following year you lose 2-1 at the beginning of the season when you play them. And then maybe by the end of the year you're drawing with them. Now that progression has taken 2 years, but you've made the progression so that success has been there. But it's hard for parents especially to see it, and it's hard for players to see it when you're still losing. So, it's up to you to be able to say, okay, well, here's the success. This is what we can now do. This is what Johnny can do as opposed to what he could do. And there's lots of ways that you can share that with your parents, and we'll go on to that as we go through the course. But you as the coach have to realise that that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the success markers. Success leaves clues everywhere, and you're looking for them. That's what you're trying to find. Maybe in the beginning of the season your team wasn't as disciplined as they need to be. Maybe they're getting too many yellow cards, red cards. Maybe they're not turning up on time. Maybe they're late to practice. Maybe they want to take practice nights off. And as you go through the season, those things start to disappear because they realise that as the coach, you're not going to allow them to get away with that. You have to turn up on time and you have to be more disciplined on the field. So you will set the tone for whatever your program is going to be, and you will then, with your parents, with your players, decide what the success markers are. And those are the things that you're going to drive towards, and not necessarily will they be how many games do we win, how many goals do we score, how many goals do we concede. There'll be other things. And one of the things that I know you're aware of is that soccer will teach these kids so many things throughout their life that they will take beyond this youth soccer career, this youth soccer experience. They will get so many life lessons through what they're going to do. And as the coach, it's up to you and me and every other coach to make sure that we are embedding those traits, those qualities, those skills into these players so that they can have successful lives. I'm super excited to share this program with you. I'm super excited that you've invested your time, money, effort into this training, and I am overwhelmed with joy that you are here, that you are prepared to learn, and that you are giving me the opportunity to show you how to transform your soccer coaching into success. So without further ado, we'll move on to Module 1, and I will talk to you again very soon. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.